Hey guys, it is so awesome to be back live with you today. I'm so excited. So sorry for yesterday, but we're here with you today. We're making it happen. I'm so genuinely excited to be here. Really grateful to be with every single one of you. And I want to give a huge shout out to every single one of you because the positivity and energy remained exactly the same despite us having so many technical difficulties yesterday. And you saw me, I tried to go live for you not once, not twice, not 3 times, not even 4 times, but I went 5 times to try and get it to work. But I'm really grateful that every single one of you stayed positive, you stayed encouraging, and you stayed motivated. And as I said yesterday, that's a huge part of success habits. One of the biggest success habits is resilience, persistence, being able to stay focused on the goal, right? To stay completely dedicated to the goal without any expectation of what may happen. And the truth is that most people don't make it because they give up. Most people don't make it because they don't last as long. So I'm loving all your comments coming through right now. Hey Katya, hey Dana, hey Anne-Marie, wonderful to see you. Daniela, Linda, Bettina, good to see you as well. Andrew, Javiria, Esme, Cindy, Rebecca, Emmeline, Farana, Christina, Dipali, Stephen, great to see you here as well. It's awesome to have all of you coming in online right now. And I hope lots more people are going to come on as well. We had so many people online yesterday. But a massive shout out to each and every one of you for staying positive, for staying true to this group, and for really passing the first test of our success habits, right? All of you who stayed positive, if you're watching this on the replay as well, you tried to join and you wondered what was happening, but we're here right now, we're making this happen, and I'm genuinely so grateful to each and every single one of you. Thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. So, I want to kick off again. I'm going to repeat a few things I said yesterday because they're so important. I want you to take a moment. Whether you joined yesterday or you didn't, I want you to take a moment. Cynthia, I'm excited too. And let me tell you why I'm so excited. No, I'm excited too. And I'll tell you why. I'm excited because what we're doing right now is actually something historical. And I'll tell you why I mean that. Today, we have 133,000 people in this group who've committed for the next 5 days to wanting to grow. There's 130,000 people of you in this group that have committed to making a change in your life, right? There's over 130,000 people in this group who've decided that they want to be better. They want their life to mean more, and that you really want to commit to success habits. And I have to say congratulations. I have to say well done. I have to say a huge appreciation for you all to take that first step. Taking the first step that you've done right now is the beginning of that journey. And as I always say, that a year from now, you will have wished you started today, right? So you have all decided to start today. Whether you're watching live right now or you're going to watch on the replay, you have all decided to go and make that commitment today, which means a month from now, 2 months from now, 12 months from now, you're going to see the benefits of this 5-day investment. I want to start off by telling you exactly how to get the most out of this group, right? I want you to get optimal performance, peak performance. I want you to be in this group and get so much value and impact out of it that at the end of the 5 days, you're saying, Jay, I want more of this and I know what I need to do to grow. That's the outcome I want. By the end of this, I want you to be saying to yourself, I need more of this. I recognize the value of having a global community. I recognize the value of being coached regularly. I recognize the value of connecting with other people who feel the same way as me, even if we live in different countries. I want you to feel that way. And I want you to feel that impact and value in this 5 days. We've got people from India, South Africa, Australia, Europe, of course, US, South America, all parts of Asia, right? Let me know where in the world you're tuning in from, and I will be reading out your comments. I love keeping these interactive, so another way to get value out of them is make sure you comment, make sure you're engaging, make sure you press that like and love button. If you like something I say, press the like button. If you love something I say, press the love button. Most importantly, comment and make notes. I highly recommend making notes and sharing them within the group so that you yourself become a change maker. You yourself are becoming a sharer to help other people, and share them outside the group so that people out there can also tune in to this energy. Another thing I wanted to point out about how to get the most out of this group is that lots of people are here, right? We've got a ton of people. But every day I will send the replay to your inbox if you sign up for the email. So make sure you've registered, because not only will you get the replay and the insights, but on top of that, there's loads of bonuses. There's loads of exciting things coming. There's a lot of surprises. I'm going to tell a few personal stories as well. And the number one way to get the most out of the lives is join all the lives. Try and attend as many of the 5 lives as you can. Watch the replay. Watch them twice each. To do that, make sure that we have your email. If we don't, make sure you register at jshetty.me/success habits, right? jshetty.me/success habits. And make sure that you open the old emails that you've received, and make sure that you set your junk for my name. So go into your email account after this, type in Jay Shetty, and open up the emails and check in through them. I'll tell you why. We've got loads of bonuses, surprises, and exciting news coming into your email inbox as well. So this is exciting, guys. I'm going to read some of your comments. Are you excited? I want you to shout out yes wherever you are. I want you to press the like and love button, and let me read out some of your comments. Let's have a look. Jonah says, I feel so much your words, Jay. It's like piercing right through my heart. Wrap like arm blanket. Jonah, that means so much to me. Really, really grateful. AV says, just came back from 12 hours of work. It's 12:05 a.m. here, listening to you while doing housework. Because of you, we have positive energy. Thanks. That means so much to me. We absolutely will do that, Paul. Thanks for that recommendation. We are managing over 130,000 people in this group, which is special. I want you to take a moment before we kick off to just value that, to just appreciate that. See, today, numbers, groups, social media almost makes us feel like it just kind of all happens. We have 130,000, I think it's 133,000 people in this group who've dedicated 5 days to wanting to be better, to be more, and master success habits. That's huge. You're a part of that. Just take a moment to really honor that, to appreciate that, to value that. Where else in the world are there 100,000 people coming together to make that commitment? That's beautiful. Leslie says, I was in a bad place and you have made a difference to me, Jay, and the group. Thank you so much. That means so much to me. Angie says, it's a joy to be here with wonderful people all over the world. Susan says, thank you, Jay, for planting the seed of compassion so that we can cultivate in this world. Christina says, yesterday I cannot catch you at all. You've not missed anything, so you're in the first workshop. This is the first workshop. So today is challenge number 1. We've got 5,000 people live right now. I want you to stay here because I'm going to share with you the first challenge of our 5-day challenge. Welcome. I'm so grateful and appreciate every single one of you. And now we're going to go straight into the content, to go straight into the practical application and to go into it. Now, one of the biggest ways you're going to win in this group is listen, tune in. You're going to have so many questions, but I promise you, if you watch the lives once, you watch the replays twice, I guarantee you in the 5 days, I will answer your questions. I am going to have moments to ask questions as well, but when I'm sharing the content and ideas, really just listen. Even if I don't answer your question straight away, right? The second thing I'm going to say to you is that there's a big difference between knowing and living. I may say something and you may think in your head, I already know that. The 4 words that have destroyed more goals and dreams than anything in the world is I already know that, right? Those 4 words can destroy anything. Your mind will say that multiple times. Your mind will say to you, I already know that, Jay. You allowed Jay, 5 words, right? I already know that, Jay. I've heard that before, Jay. I kind of do that, Jay. But there's a big difference between knowing and kind of doing and living. There's a big difference between kinda and living. There's a big difference between knowing and doing. This group is not just about knowing, it's about doing. It's about practice. And that's where I want to get you to. So if you're ready, Press the like and love button. If you're ready, say, yes, I'm ready, wherever you are. Say it out loud, right? Do everything that I say in your space. I am bringing my optimal energy. I've been focusing so hard on bringing you the best of my energy. I've been focusing so hard on bringing you the best of everything that I have. Content, energy, emotion, heart, everything. All I ask from you is your commitment to bring the best of yourself. Does that sound like a good idea? Say yes. Awesome. So, I want to talk to you about being an early riser, right? Being an early riser. And this is something that I really came across. This is something I really came across when I lived as a monk. And I'm not sure how many of you know that, right? I'm not sure how many of you are aware that I actually lived as a real monk for 3 years, right? For 3 years I lived as a monk, which means I shaved my hair, I wore robes, I meditated for 4 to 8 hours a day, and on top of all of that, we slept for about 4 to 6 hours a day, spend the rest of the time working on ourselves and helping humanity. And when I did that as a monk, one of the key principles we were taught to master in life was to be an early riser. To be an early riser. Now I know what you're thinking, oh God, Jay, I don't know if I can wake up early. I really need sleep. I'm tired all the time. I can hear all of that going on in your head right now. Jay, I'm tired. Jay, I've got too much going on. Jay, I'm not sure I can wake up early. Jay, I've tried that before. Okay, just wait and listen to why I'm saying this. Right? Jacqueline says, wow, I'm so excited to be on now, hearing this early riser challenge. Andrew says, that's so freaking awesome. Thank you, Andrew. I want to know what you're talking about. Lisa says, perfect timing for me with this happening now in my personal life, starting and growing my own coaching biz. Lisa, that's awesome to hear. Congratulations. And I'll tell you more about that as well. Dawn, just coming out of a challenging space and so much looking forward to returning my mindset. Beautiful. Ashley says, you helped me so much when I was in a bad place. Still in a bad place. This helps a lot to get me out of it. Awesome. We are doing it. Right. So today I'm not just going to talk about being an early riser. You may say, Jay, I'm already an early riser. I'm going to talk to you about the ideal morning routine. And even more important, there's only one more thing that's important in your life than a morning routine. And that is your evening routine. See, sleep and waking up early isn't just about the time you wake up. It's waking up energized. It's not just about getting the right amount of sleep. It's getting the right depth of sleep, right? It's not just about making sure that you're in bed on time. It's about making sure that your mindset is prepared for the next day. Many of us can wake up early, but wake up stressed. Many of us can wake up early, but wake up with lack of energy. Many of us can wake up early, but not feel good. Whichever one it is, the truth is that I today am not just talking about waking up early. I'm talking about my definition of being an early riser is one who wakes up with energy, is one who wakes up empowered, is one who wakes up enthusiastic, is one who wakes up enlivened, and it's one who wakes up enlightened. Make sure you're taking notes, guys. I'm in flow right now. Everything that I'm sharing is me in flow. And I want you to remember that, right? Really remember that I'm not just talking about waking up early as a time. I'm talking about waking up early as a motive, as an emotion, as a deep change in your life with energy. How many of you want to wake up with focus? Say yes. How many of you want to wake up with energy? Say yes. How many of you want to wake up feeling enthusiastic? You say yes. And how many of you want to wake up early with all of that? Say yes. That's an early riser. So I hope I've defined for you. And I wanted to share some stats. I studied behavioral science at business school, so I love putting all of my evidence that I learned as a monk in with science, and this is some of my favorite information. So studies have shown that 90% of the most successful executives in the world wake up before 6 a.m. Now that's not by chance, right? That's not like a mistake. It's not like these people don't have anything better to do or they're working too hard. It's true. And 50%, this is huge, 50% of self-made millionaires wake up at least 3 hours before their workday actually begins. Now, this is the definition of early rising. Take this in. Huge point. 50% of self-made millionaires wake up 3 hours before their workday begins. The definition of being an early riser is to be able to wake up with energy, enlivened, enthusiastic 3 hours before your work day starts, right? So guys, listen to me carefully. I can see a lot of comments coming in, and I want the comments to be related to what I'm saying, so really tune in. Is this relevant to current work schedule? Working evening nights is more like later morning. Ingrid, absolutely. And that's why I mean waking up 3 hours earlier till your work day begins, that is an early riser. Awesome. This is great. And guys, you're going to get the replay of this. So if you miss anything, don't worry. You can watch it again on the replay, which I highly recommend. I highly recommend you watch all lives twice. The first time you watch this live, you want to make sure that you're just learning what I'm saying, taking in the information. The second time you watch it, you want to process it. Think about how you're going to make changes in your life, right? So here's what I found when I did some research in order of wake-up time of some of the most successful people in the world. I want you to get a picture of the type of people that are choosing to wake up early, right? And if you're feeling weak when you wake up early in the day, you're not feeling energized, I'm going to teach you why. You can't just keep going on like that. You can't just allow that to happen to your life. If you wake up that early and it's not doing good for you, there's something else that needs to change. Not to feel lethargic when you wake up. This is the... Once. So this is the understanding that I'm not just talking about waking up early. I'm talking about waking up, feeling focused, feeling energized. Really understand that. Really understand that. So, so listen to me carefully. And I know you guys are all commenting away with your current thoughts. Let that noise settle. Right? Just let that noise settle for a moment. Just switch off all your questions for a moment. Just really tune in to what I'm trying to share with you. And really, really focus. Because I guarantee you the answer you're looking for is here. Don't let the chatter of your mind distract you from what we're sharing. Right? So listen to this carefully. So Apple CEO Tim Cook wakes up at 3:45 a.m. every morning. Dwayne The Rock Johnson. How many of you like Dwayne The Rock Johnson? Press the like and love button. Guys, I want to see the energy flying. Press the like and love button. Let me see it coming through. Dwayne The Rock Johnson is already in the gym by 4 a.m. Right? PepsiCo CEO Indra Nooyi rises at 4 a.m. every day. Starbucks exec. Starbucks. How many of you drink Starbucks? Howard Schultz gets up at 4:30 a.m. LinkedIn CEO Jeff Weiner gets up at 5:30 a.m. Richard Branson wakes up at 5:45 a.m. Gary Vaynerchuk wakes up at 6 a.m. Oprah Winfrey gets up at 6 a.m. Warren Buffett gets up at 6:45 a.m. Elon Musk at 7 a.m. Jeff Bezos likes 8 hours of sleep. Jay-Z wakes up at 8 a.m. But just think about it. All those really famous people waking up at early times. Right? And it's not after they became famous, it's since they've been famous the whole time, right? Their own whole time. Now, I'm going to talk to you a bit about the importance and the duration of sleep. The average amount of sleep that everyone needs is 8 hours, right? 8 hours. So some of us need 7, some of us need 9. I know mine is 8.5. Right? There's a lot of sleep cycle websites that will share with you what your sleep cycle is. If you use it, if you have a Fitbit, that will tell you how much you need sleep. The best way to know is for a few days when you don't need an alarm, see how many hours you sleep. Not what time you sleep and what time you wake up. See how many hours you sleep. Even if you sleep at 3 a.m. and wake up at 11 a.m., that's 8 hours. If you sleep at 4 a.m. and wake up at 12, that's 8 hours. So give yourself that natural rhythm to tune into, right? So, I'm going to talk to you about one of the most important things about waking up early. And like I said, there's only one more important thing, right? There's only one more important thing than a morning routine. There's only one more thing than a morning routine, and that is your evening routine. Let's start. Sarah Cole just said early to bed, early to rise. Yep, Sarah. Makes a man happy, wealthy, and wise. Exactly. But I want to talk to you about the right evening sleep pattern, the evening routine of the enlightened. Right? Are you ready for the evening routine of the enlightened? If you are, press that like and love button. I want to see that energy flying through. Right? The energy of the enlightened, the evening routine of the enlightened, really, really significant, really, really important. One of the biggest ones is, please, and I'm begging you, do not look at your phone in the last hour that you want to sleep. If you want to sleep at 10, do not be on your phone from 9 to 9:59 and expect to put the phone down at 10 and be able to get to sleep. The rays from the phone, the light from the phone is programmed to keep you awake, is programmed to keep you engaged, to keep you alert. If you are trying to do that at 9:59 and think that you're just going to put this phone down and go to sleep, it's not going to happen. Your evening routine has to be your priority. Number one tip, right? Number one tip. Do not keep your phone in the last hour you want to sleep. I, at one point in life, used to lock my phone in my car outside because I didn't want it to disturb me. I had a common alarm, like I bought a real alarm, an old school alarm that only has an alarm, that doesn't have anything else, that would go off every time. Right? Really, really important. Manage your evening routine. The second thing I'm going to say, don't sleep in the same clothes that you've been wearing all day, that you wore to the gym. Have a pair of sleep clothes. And I know that sounds crazy, but our body has memory and clothes have energy. Remember this, our body has memory and our clothes have energy. Jen saying, Jay, thanks for sharing that, Jay. Done from now on, I'm putting my phone off 1 hour before I sleep. Please, Jen, and if you can do 2 hours, do 2 hours, right? Brent says, thank you for all, Jay, energy you're putting into this. I took my lunch hour early just so I could tune in. Brent, much love to you, man. Thank you so much for doing that. But some have the habit of getting sleep while operating their phone, like watching videos. Kanisha, that's not a good habit because you're not getting deep sleep. Joanne, so true. I think I might change my phone to reading before a book. That's beautiful, Joanne, sorry. That's beautiful. Thank you so much for sharing that. This is great. I'm liking these comments, guys. Beryl says, loving your messages, so much more can be done when you rise early. Absolutely. If all these successful people are saying that they rise early in order to be more successful, there is truth in it. If you wake up early, you get more time in the day. You get more energy in the day. You're at your most peak performance throughout the day. You've got so much more of the day to make more of. When people say make more of your day and you're only active for 8 hours, how much can you make more of? Right? But you have more of a day when you wake up early, so it's easy to make more of it, right? When you wake up early, you have more of a day, so it's very easy to make more of it. Does that make sense? Does that resonate? Does that hit? If you're only awake for 8 hours a day and you're at work for that time, if you're only awake for 12 hours a day and you work for most of that time, it's really, really tough. Kevin's got a great question as always. Jay, any thoughts to why folks are addicted to their phones first thing in the morning or ending their day with their phones in their hand, even when they know the benefits? So Kevin, great question. It's because our phones are releasing dopamine in our brains when we see likes, notifications, and all the rest of it. And therefore, our mind, our brain wants that feeling when it wakes up, and it wants that feeling when we go to sleep. Right? We want that validation. We want to feel that love. We want to feel that connection. And therefore, we have to substitute up. I'll give you an example. Really listen to this example. Let me know what car you have right now. Right? I have no idea what car you have right now. Let me know what car you own, what home you own. Now, if I ask you to just give that car up, no matter what it is, whatever it is in the world, if I ask you to give that car up, 1 second, guys, absolutely 1 second. If I ask you to give that car up, right? If I asked you to give that car up, how many of you would give that car up? Right? How many of you would give up your car or your house if I told you to give it up? Probably not many of you. Right? If I just said just give it up, just move out, right? Nissan Maxima someone's got. If I asked you to just give it up, how many of us would give it up? We wouldn't, right? We wouldn't give it up. Why? Because we don't give stuff up easily. Right now, your car and your house serves a particular value. Right now, your car and your house serves a particular purpose. But let me tell you now, what if I offered you something that was a better house, a bigger car? You would switch, you would substitute it. If I offered you that. And that's the same with our habits in our brain. We like the validation and the connection that our phone gives us to messages, social media, and therefore we have to substitute up to something that feels the same way. We're seeking connection every single day, but we seek connection through being connected on social media. But imagine you could get that connection from a book. Imagine you could get that connection from a conversation. Imagine you could get that connection from doing something you love, from writing, from art, from sketching. When you start to find value in your personal practice in the evening, you can change anything. Rather than looking for connection and validation through your phone in the morning and evening. So your evening routine, take your phone off 1 hour before you go to bed. If you're addicted, use your phone all the way up until you want that hour. Make sure you leave it down, lock it in the car, whatever it takes you, so that you don't use it, right? So important. And same way, do not look at it in the morning. I'll tell you why. When you're reading your notifications in the evening, let's say you got 10 notifications, let's say you got 20 notifications. Let's say in the morning when you wake up, you got 20, 30, 40, 50. If you're on WhatsApp, 80 notifications. If you're watching on this replay, think about it. What's happening is that you're allowing 20 to 30 people to walk into your bedroom while you're trying to sleep and while you're trying to wake up. How many of you would feel comfortable having 30 people in your bedroom when you wake up? You wouldn't, because you're like, hey, I'm trying to wake up. I'm not even ready yet. I haven't got energy to take care of all of you. Well, that's how your brain feels. That's how your mind feels. And when you're trying to go to sleep, have you had one of those times when you're really tired and your friends are trying to keep you up and you're thinking to yourself, oh God, I wish I was just on my own. If you've ever had one of those feelings, imagine trying to have 30 messages to read before you go to bed. All you're doing is inviting 30 people into your bedroom before you go to bed. So having a powerful evening routine is key to having a good morning routine, right? If you're not sleeping and preparing to sleep, right? And Kevin, I do that as well. Use airplane mode 1 hour before going to bed and turn it off 1 hour after getting up. Absolutely. That's a great recommendation. Highly recommend it. Dinkrit says 10 p.m. digital curfew for me. Awesome. That's so great to hear. Tracy says, I've started not looking at my phone in the morning and I've started reading for 30 minutes and then I start my day. It helps me not stress and focus so much. Lorelli says, I do a guided meditation from YouTube in the AM. I don't watch it, I listen and do the meditation. Laurie, that is amazing. Well done for doing that. I highly recommend it. This is awesome. Daniel says, wow, it's great to be connected with books, conversion, and conversation, and worthy things. I'm going to do that from now onwards. I'm loving the change already. Jen says, Jay, I feel totally exhausted after I finish work at working place. I wish I can build more energy to spend time with my kids. I get that, Jen. You're feeling tired also, Jen, because a lot of us are not drinking enough water. And I know that sounds so simple, but it's had such a massive impact in my life of just managing to drink over 2 liters of water a day. And I know we hear it all the time. Maybe you haven't heard it before, but even if you have heard it before, if you're not doing it yet, make sure you do it. Here's the ways to do it. Keep the biggest, I was with my friend Amanda the other day, and she has a tank of water that's literally looks like she's walking around with a tank, but it's like a gallon of water. And the best way to drink more water is to have a non-plastic bottle, so you're not harming the environment, but you have a container, a 1 gallon bottle, one of the different materials. There's so many of them, long-lasting materials, and you can have that next to you and you fill it up every day, and that will force you to drink water because it's right there, right? It's right there. The other way of doing it is if you're in an office, then do that. But if you don't want to do that, work close to a water machine, because that's going to give you some exercise as well. You're going to get up and walk over. There are multiple ways. The reason why we're feeling low energy is not just because our jobs are draining. It's because we're not taking care of our health. And good sleep, sleeping at the right time, waking up at a good time, drinking enough water, these are all powerful ways. How many of you skip breakfast because you're rushing? Right? How many of you skip breakfast because you're rushing? A good breakfast can improve your energy levels, it can help the body regulate blood glucose concentrations, and it can improve your memory's performance, all by having a good breakfast. Now, what's a good breakfast for one person may not be good for another person. So I figured out for me, the ideal breakfast is oatmeal, dried fruits, nuts, and that's enough for me to have enough energy to get through to lunchtime. But everyone's ideal breakfast is going to be different. Some of us need more, some of us need less. My point is, create a routine around the things. The reason why we feel tired, the reason why we lack energy is not just because our jobs are draining, it's because we're not taking care of ourselves, right? And actually these changes are very, very simple. They're very, very easy. Andrew, I was like that for years. I always rush out the door and I neglect breakfast. Andrew, I was like that. And that causes so many issues in energy, in mind retention, in memory, in everything else we do throughout the day. So these are real changes. Lindella says, totally agree, Jay. I normally end up making breakfast for my son and forget about me to rush to work. And it messes with yourself. And you have to. Lindella, let me just take a moment. Take a moment. How many of us have been on a plane? Say yes. We've all been on planes. I'm sure most people here have been on a plane in their life. How many of you bothered to listen to the security announcement? How many of you know that security announcement off by heart? How many of you could do it with the air hostess saying it and the hosts every time? We know what they say. The number one thing they say is before you put an oxygen mask on a child or anyone else, put one on yourself. Take a moment to think about what that means. Deeply, metaphorically. Before you put an oxygen mask on a child or a dependent or a friend or a partner, put on your own oxygen mask. If you're not wearing your oxygen mask, if your health and sleep are not good, if your energy levels are not good, if your enthusiasm is not good, is not at the level you want it to be at, how can you serve anyone else? How can you make an impact in anyone else's life? Just take a moment, breathe in, breathe out, and just really embrace that point, right? Just really embrace that point. How many of us can truly, truly have an impact on other people's ideas? Jay, so good to hear you talk about the importance of the simple 5. Diet, water, sleep, exercise, connection, says Catherine, to support well-being. Most people's issues would be resolved. 99% of your issues will be resolved if you focus on diet, water, sleep, exercise, and connection. 5 things, so simple that one focus will completely make it so easy, guys, right? So easy. Tell me what you think of that analogy I just shared about the oxygen mask. Valerie says, question, can you explain in more details how you shifted your habits the first days? Absolutely. So I'm going to share with you now. I've just shared with you the why, like why we should bother with our sleep. I've shared with you what successful people are doing, but now I'm going to share with you how. Sound good? This is how every session is going to go. I'm going to start with why. I'm going to start with why you should even care about being an early riser. I'm going to talk to you about what being an earlier riser means. And then I'm going to show you how to do it. How does that sound? Press the like and love button. Say yes if that sounds like a good idea, guys. So I'm going to share with you multiple examples of how to do it. So tell me if that sounds good. Great analogy, Jay, says Desha. Makes so much sense. Even love. If you don't love yourself, then how will others love you? Ali Blackwood says, love the oxygen analogy. Plus, I have to be a good example to my 5-year-old son. If you don't show your children that you care for yourself, they won't care for you and they won't learn to care for themselves either. They'll always think someone else is going to do it. And if they grow up believing that someone else is going to do it, that's going to hurt long term, right? Genevieve says, I totally relate to the oxygen mask. I always serve my kids first and then sit and eat once they're at school. Time to change. Awesome. Morwina says, oh my God, I love that. It's so true. If you can take care of yourself, you can't help anyone else. Riley says, this is amazing, Jay. I already know this. It's quickly fading. Thanks so much. Continue to listen. I'm actually a vegan, Sunil, from your question. Amazing example of oxygen. Cynthia says, Jay, have said a mouthful. Every time I look at my iPad while in the bed, I have trouble going and staying asleep. Wonderful. Thanks so much. Thank you, Cynthia. Awesome. So Every session, tell me if you like this. We'll start with the why. I'll tell you why you should bother even trying to do this challenge. I'll tell you what other successful people in the world are doing and why they're doing it. And then I'll share with you how to do it. Neha said, oh my God, Jay, just realized from your background that we're both... No worries, that's crazy. We'd love to say hello. I'm actually at my friend's place right now. That's hilarious. Andrea, this is great. I usually care so much about other responsibilities that I forgot my own responsibility to myself. Says Andrea, I love this, guys. This is a brilliant refresher course on life, as so many of us already know this and have forgotten the simple steps in life to have a good life, says George. George, trust me, it's the simple things that we mess up on. It's the simple stuff that trips everyone up. I know people who've built $1 million, $1 billion businesses who don't know how to have a conversation. I know people who've achieved the highest in sports, in media and music, but feel completely empty inside. I know people who've connected with millions of people externally through their songs and their movies, but they can't spark up a connection with the person sitting next to them. I'm telling you right now, it's the simple stuff. See, one day you'll wake up and realize it wasn't the big things, it was the little things that make the difference. And those little things are so simple, they're so simple that sometimes we might miss them. We take them as so insignificant. We take them as, I've heard that before. We take them as all the excuses. I already know this. We take them as, I knew this when I was younger. What am I even learning here? But if we're not living it, learning it's not enough. Not enough. So I'm going to teach you some of the methods, and I want you to choose one of these methods and challenge yourself over the next 5 days to try and put it into practice. Now, we are doing a crash course, so if you can't do it over the next 5 days, that's fine. You can do it over the next week. You can do it over the next 2 weeks. So this is a method of waking up earlier. The method 1 is called the gradual method. The best method for changing the time you wake up is to do it gradually. How many times have you been one of those extreme people that goes, I either wake up at 4 or I wake up at midday, right? Like you make it impossible for yourself. You're an extremist. I can be an extremist sometimes, but you try and say to yourself, it either happens at 4 a.m. or it happens at noon. I'm not doing the middle. Terrible idea. Terrible idea. Do you know how much that impacts the shock of your system? Right? That shocks your system. And when your system gets shocked, it reacts. When you get shocked, you react. If someone scares you, what happens? You react. We react. Our system reacts. So do not shock your system. Right? Do not shock your system. So the best method for changing the wake up is gradually. 10 to 15 minutes earlier for 2 to 4 days. Until you feel used to it, and then repeat. If you get up at 8 a.m. normally, don't suddenly jump to 6 a.m. Just start waking up at 7:45 a.m. Right? So this is my number 1 recommendation. My number 1 recommendation is try and wake up 10 to 15 minutes earlier for a week, and then try and wake up 15 minutes earlier the week after. Try it as simply as that, right? Do not try and do some massive jump. This is beautiful. Jane, to the world you may be one person, but to one person you may be the world. Thank you so much for coming into our lives and bringing us all together. Christy, you're a modern day... Oh, that's so kind. Thank you, Christy. I just started this, says Alicia. That's awesome. Kibli says, awesome. Thank you. I needed this. I mean, really needed this. Confirmation. By the way, I love your accent. Thank you. I appreciate it. I have nothing to do with it. Awesome. Pia's saying she struggles with the continuity of it. I totally get that, right? Stability and continuity. And the reason why we struggle with continuity is that we lose priority. Listen to me carefully. The reason that you lose continuity is that it stops being a priority. So this is how I talk about habit change. I want to talk to you a bit about habit change today. We'll talk about it more as the sessions go on. One of the biggest thing about habit change is go for small changes, big priority. Small change, big priority. A, do not try and change all your habits at the same time. B, when you're trying to change a habit, try and make a small change 15 minutes earlier, but make that the top priority of your day. If you're waking up 15 minutes earlier, you need to sleep 15 minutes earlier. If you're waking up 15 minutes earlier, you need to make sure that you switch off from your phone 15 minutes earlier. If you're waking up 15 minutes earlier, you need to make your to-do list the night before, right? The point is, small change, small step, big priority. What we do is try and make a big change as a small priority. We try to wake up an hour earlier, but then we don't sleep on time, we eat too much the night before, we drink too much the night before, and then it all falls apart. I want to talk to you a bit about your evening routine again. Really important to make your evening routine, right, your to-do list and your affirmations. These are the two things that people do not do, right? So I'm going to give you my top 5 tips for the early riser challenge. E is evening routine. You must have an evening routine. Switch off your phone, right? An hour before. Make sure you haven't eaten too late. You shouldn't be eating within 2 hours of going to sleep. You have to eat 2 hours or more before you go to sleep. I want you to try this out. Your evening routine, lots of water. Your evening routine with a book or a friend, right? Not too late though. And an evening routine. So E, master your evening routine. Focus on making it a big priority with a small change. You may just try for the next few days to read a book before you go to sleep. You may just try to not look at your phone, right? Whatever it may be, whichever one it is, right? The second one is affirmations. So E, evening routine. Point 2, affirmations. I want you to sleep having made your affirmations. Your affirmations are things like, I will wake up feeling energized and focused. Now that's not going to work if you don't have an evening routine. So this is in order. The first thing is having your evening routine, sleeping on time, switching off your phone an hour before you go to bed, not eating within 2 hours of sleeping, right? Not being on a phone call. Evening routine is massive. It's not just about the morning routine, it's about your evening routine. If you want a good morning, you have to have a good evening. If you want a good tomorrow, you have to have a good today, right? You have to have a good today. Wes, great question. Jay, is there such a thing as too much sleep? Some say they are more tired if they sleep too much. It's true, Wes. So all of us have a sleep cycle. Figure your one out. Mine is 8.5 hours. It's when I feel energized when I wake up, right? Okay. I'm so thankful. Tanya says, I'm so thankful for this right now. It's helping me remember what I need to get back on track. Trust me, habits may not be exciting, but they get you back on track and make you do exciting things, right? Habits aren't exciting. It's not exciting talking about this all the time, but I guarantee you, when you nail your habits, you will be living the life that you really want to live. I guarantee you that when you have successful habits, you will see success in your life. If you master your habits, you will master life. It's simple. It's so simple, but we complicate it, right? So the second thing was affirmations. Write down your affirmations before you go to sleep. I will wake up feeling focused and energized. I will wake up feeling like I can focus on this project. I will wake up and work on this project with energy. Affirmations are powerful statements that empower you to wake up how you want to wake up. Now you may say, oh, this is all like, who does this stuff? You know what? A lot of successful people do. And it's because it's preparing your mind. You're planting the seed in your mind right now. And when you go to sleep, that seed is growing so that when you wake up, you're ready. I've done it so many times. I wake up saying to myself, I'm going to wake up feeling excited about meditation tomorrow. And when I say it genuinely, when I really mean it, guess what happens? I wake up feeling excited about meditation. Genuinely. And these can't be just things that you read off a sheet every day. You have to write just 3 of them, right? 3 is enough. If you can do 5, do 5. You can do 7, do 7. Whatever it is for you. But just saying, I will wake up. And whatever's on your to-do list, right? So the third thing that you have to focus on being an early riser is your reminders. Do your reminders the night before. When you wake up and you go, oh, I've got so much to do, I need to make a to-do list, guess what happens? You've rushed your brain into work mode, right? I'm going to tell you about something really, really important. I'm going to tell you about something really, really important, and I want you to focus in on this. Your brain at any time, your mind at any time is in 3 modes. Focus on this. Really, really important. Focus on this. 3 modes. You've got flow, you've got work, you've got rest. Right? You're either in flow, work, or rest. And guess what? Some of us have a 4th mode, and it's called lazy. Right? Some of us have a 4th mode that's called nothingness, when it should be rest. The problem is we have a 4th mode today called distraction. Technology has created a 4th mode called distraction. So most of us are not working, we're not resting, we're not in flow, we're distracted. But that's not a mode, right? That's just a distraction. Listen to what I'm saying. When you wake up and you need to write your to-do list in the morning, what you've just done is you've taken your world, you've taken your life from when it should be in rest mode, while you're still waking up, you've taken it into work mode, right? You've taken it into work mode. You need to rest and build that up. So reminders, to-do lists should be done the evening. So you've got evening routine, you've got affirmations, you've got reminders, right? You have to do your to-do list the night before. Do not leave your to-do list till the actual day, right? Do not do it. You need to get excited. The night before, this is how you do reminders. The night before, think of one thing you'd like to do in the morning that excites you, right? It could be something you want to write, or a new yoga routine, or a meditation, or something you'd like to read, or a work project that's got you fired up. In the morning when you wake up, remember the exciting thing, and that will motivate you. That's how you'll get energy. Your reminders have to be done the night before. When you do the reminders before, you already wake up with energy. You're not letting yourself wake up and then decide whether you want to have energy. You will wake up with energy already. This is completely true, says Ragini. Jay, you're the man, says LK. Blessed, says Piper. Thank you, Piper. I love this, says Addy. Thank you. I'm so glad. Tell me if you're enjoying this, guys. This is our first live together on the 5-day challenge. I hope I'm sharing with you. I know it's a lot of information, but I want to make these loads of value for you. I'm not expecting you to change your life in 5 days, but I'm giving you content to change your life, right? It's not about changing your life in 1 day or 5 days. It's about getting so much impact that you know you've got all the tools to change your life, and then take it forward from there. So I hope you're enjoying this. Tell me what you're thinking right now. Chrissy says, it's true. I noticed this today. Made a list last night and actually almost finished, says Chrissy. Chrissy, I love that. That's epic. True, says Miguel. Wow, everyone's agreeing. Noah as well. Thank you so much. It's so great for me that you're enjoying it. Linda says, this is fabulous. Lots of tips, ideas, information, all to move forward. Love it, but seems so difficult, says Pushpa. I'll need to watch a replays. Absolutely. Now, and I don't want you to get overwhelmed. I don't want you to try to get all of this in 1 day. I want you to just try one thing. If you just take one thing from this live and try and put it into practice, that will be the greatest thing you can do. Honestly, it's not about trying to apply all of it. It's not about trying to do all of it. Remember, small change, big priority. Tammy says, love you and everything you stand for. Finding you has been such a blessing. Thank you, Tammy. That means so much to me. Okay, so flow, work, and rest is too much in my life. Dang technology. So hard to get to sleep I need with a 2-year-old. Totally. So if you've got kids, it's a different story. That's a phase of life you have to get through. It requires you to stay at the best of your energy to give your best. It's a very different time in life. I get that. Darren, Jay, this sort of sounds like lucid dreaming. Is it like same concept? You have to say to yourself over and over that I will know that I'm dreaming. Not so much. It's more about getting your mind ready. It's more like preparation, right? It's about preparation. You have to prepare your mind for the morning. You can't just turn up, right? Journaling, gratitude. So evening routine, master that. Affirmations, reminders the night before, right? Reminders the night before. So important. So important, right? So important. I'm going to give you two more. Right? I'm going to give you 2 more things that I want to share with you today about being an early riser, right? About being an early riser. The lead up time to sleeping. The lead up time to sleeping, right? Lead up time to sleeping. Make sure you are switching off your devices. Make sure that you are drinking enough water. Make sure that your room is in the right amount of darkness. So when I was a monk, we learned about this, that the deepest sleep received is when we sleep in cave-like darkness. What I mean by cave-like darkness is you shouldn't, I mean, unless you need a light on for other reasons, that's fine, I get it, but you don't really want any light creeping into your room. You want it to be as dark as possible. You don't want any distraction of light, of energy, of movement. So your lead-up time to going to sleep has to be like cave-like darkness, no distraction of sound, right? Unless you're using a meditation or sleep music, that's absolutely fine, but it's so, so important. I would put journaling under your reminders or your affirmations. Highly recommend journaling. Going to sleep feeling grateful, going to sleep getting out all your pain. Do not sleep with your pain, right? Let go of it. Do not sleep with your pain of the day. Let go of it by writing on a piece of paper. Don't let go of pain before you sleep. Let go of pain before you sleep. Write it down on a piece of paper. Journal. Be grateful before you go to sleep. You do those two things, you'll deep sleeper. You sleep deeper. Not deep sleeper. You'll be a deep sleeper if you sleep deeper. So you want to sleep deeper and get deeper sleep by allowing yourself to let go of pain and allowing yourself to be grateful before you go to sleep. If you're feeling like you don't sleep well, you've got a lot on your mind, start journaling. Write down the 3 things you're grateful for, the 3 things to let go of, right? 3 things to be grateful for, 3 things to let go of. That's the L. In the lead up time, let go. So you've got master your evening routine. Get your affirmations right. Focus on reminders the night before. Let go of pain. Let gratitude grow in your life. Journal, right? Journal. And then, finally, the last point that I wanted to mention to you about being an early riser is know your right amount of sleep and know your why. The letter Y, but why. Know your why. Why do you want to get up earlier? When you have a strong why, when you know why waking up earlier is important to you, whether it's for your kids, whether it's for your project, whether it's for your dreams, whatever success means to you, your why. The more you're motivated by your why, you will stick to it. The more it's just about, oh, I know I need to get up, it's what successful people do, that's not going to move you. That's not going to work. Jerry says, you're such an inspiration, people all over the world. Thank you, Jerry. I'm grateful to have found you. I'm grateful to have you here, guys. I hope you're getting value from this. Can you share a little app, smart to-do list? Love the point about doing something you get energy from. Also, how do you fit into this? Divyangana, tell me a bit more about that. Slightly confused by your question. It might have not come out properly. Silas says, Jay, I tried journaling and for me it didn't work. For me it actually had the opposite effect. Silas, what did you journal? Did you do a gratitude journal? Did you do a let go journal? Do those two, because I don't know what type of journal you did. Awesome. This is great. So, the 5 key tips: evening routine, affirmations, reminders, let go, and your why. That spells early, if you didn't figure it out. Early is the acronym for today. It's how you remember what we learned today. And I just want you to focus on one of the letters. Just one. I don't want you to try and do all 5. I just want you to focus on one. That's all I want you to do. Pick one and focus in on just one of them, right? The ideal morning routine is water, right? Making sure you have water, meditation, and having a to-do list from the night before, right? Do not try and do that in the moment. So this is Barbara Corcoran, who's a Shark Tank. She says, I work out for an hour on alternating days and jog to the office. At the office, I review the to-do list I made the night before. I figure out my priorities and do those first. The day has a way of running away from you, so this makes sure the most important tasks get done. Right? This is Tim Draper, who's partner of a legendary VC firm. I wake up early and play basketball, which starts my day with endorphins and clarity. I shower and eat a 3-egg breakfast, right? That's him. But that's the key thing. He gets activated. He does exercise. He doesn't just sit there, right? He makes sure that he's moving. And that's really important for a lot of people. Getting to the gym in the morning works for a lot of people, right? So these are some examples of what some powerful people do in the morning and why they choose to do it, right? Now, I wanted to share some more reasons for why you should do this. Science shows drinking water made participants feel more alert even if their cognitive performance did not objectively improve. Keep 2 glasses of water by your bed. You can drink one first thing in the morning, even if you finish the other overnight. Give your phone an early night. Science shows engaging with technology, such as your phone before bed, stimulates your brain and can cause cortisol, the stress hormone, to be released, preventing you from sleeping. Did you hear that? Right? Science shows engaging with technology, such as your phone before bed, stimulates your brain and can cause cortisol, the stress hormone, to be released, preventing you from sleep. Switch off your phone or at least its Wi-Fi connection an hour before you sleep. Rise with the sun. Reduced exposure to daylight causes delays in our internal body clock. Rising with the sun helps you naturally synchronize to a midsummer light dark circle. Right, guys, these are all huge tips. Getting exercise is really important, even if it's just walking for 30 minutes a day, right? A brisk walk is absolutely enough. Now, I know I've shared a lot of information with you. If you can just do one of these things, it will rapidly change your life. Start with one, master one, and then take it forward. Remember, master your evening routine. Remember, get your affirmations right. Remember, get your reminders done the night before. Remember to let go of that pain. A lot of the reason why we don't sleep is the noise from social media is keeping us awake because we haven't let go of the pain. We haven't let go of the criticism. We haven't let go of the comparison. Let it go. Write it out. Get it out of your head. Get it out of your mind. Get it out of your system. And finally, know your why. Why do you want to wake up earlier? Why do you want to do better? Will tears help letting go? Absolutely, Cynthia. Get it out, right? Early is today's acronym. It is hard with 2 kids. I totally get it. Kids is a different time of life. It's a different sacrifice for a bit of time, so I get that. But do as much of it as you can. Karen says, you are amazing. Thank you so much. This is going to rejuvenate life. It is. Guys, tell me how you found the first live today. We've talked about 5 of the best tips from the most successful people, and waking up early is the key to success, but waking up with energy, waking up with enthusiasm. Let me know how you found it. Lisa says, I realize my memory is not sharp anymore. Is there any vitamin? 5 almonds a day. Lisa, 5 almonds a day is perfect for memory, literally. I'm not even joking. Try it out. Right? Let me know if you have any questions like that, any specific questions. Oh, this is beautiful, coming in from Laura. Parents in this community, I would love to share with you how some of these tips can be incorporated with your parenting challenges. I have 2 grown children and I had to find my balance. Laura, sweet. I love that. Please share it in the group. Rikesh, fantastic, Jay, as always. Thank you, Rikesh. That means so much to me, my man. Catherine, what about if you have animals waking up you all hours of the morning? Wow. Any animal experts in the room? That would be super useful. Laurelie says, love it. Can't wait to have this all in my life. It's second nature. Ali says, this live has been awesome. Going to review my notes and see what I can focus on starting tomorrow. Sajid said, thank you, Jay, for talking about kids. Laura Sweet's going to tell us all about kids. Rayan says, amazing. This is amazing. Thank you. Let me know what else you thought. How do the people we live with fit to our waking up early habit? That's an adaptation. If you like waking early, the people around you have to adapt to that. You just have to be mindful that you're not making too much noise. Sue Mitchell says, I found a sunrise alarm clock very useful. Wakes me up more naturally on dark mornings. An audible alarm used to wake me up from deep sleep suddenly, leaving me feeling on edge. Yes, The clock does have audible backup, but I've never needed it. Sue, please post the link in the group. I love that. Lindella says, awesome, Jay. I needed someone like you to tell me. Absolutely. I loved it, and the best I learned was about the clothes carrying energy. Literally, if you sleep in your gym clothes, if you sleep in your work clothes, you will struggle to sleep because clothes carry energy. Mona, love it. Violet, thanks for this, Jay. It's been such a powerful experience. Can't wait to start putting it with my phone down. If you just start with that, that could change your life. Jennifer says, I have a practice of a journal exercise some call morning pages, but I do it more in the evening, but it's a dump of thought. That's awesome. That's exactly what I meant. If that's what you need. This is fantastic, guys. Guys, we have just done our first challenge. We've gone for over an hour. It's been absolutely insane. I hope you're getting lots of value from this session. Use the group. Share your learnings from the group. Share your notes. If I said anything that stood out to you, if I said anything that you found that really resonated, share it in the group. Use it to make these connections. Like, you all have different life experiences to share. Some of your parents, you can help each other with that. Some of your pets, you can help each other with that. Use it to collaborate and share. Glenn says, thank you, Jay. I've got so much energy right now. I was excited to be starting this 5-day, and this first day is just awesome. So looking forward to the next 4 days, and I can't wait to give you more and more and more. Guys, have an incredible day wherever you are. Love to every single one of you. Thank you for your belief. Thank you for sticking here. Sorry for yesterday. It's going to be an amazing 4 days. I can't wait to see you. Look forward to seeing you again tomorrow. Really excited to give you more value as we take on the second challenge. See you guys very soon. Lots of love.